much this week. Here's Gabs FM business reporter Gilbert Manenye with the snapshot.
For local and international investors on the Botswana Stock Exchange, we start off our week with a closer look at the new stock recommendations from analysts, which will come in today and tomorrow on Tuesday. Statistics Botswana will report the country's food imports for March, July 2025 and to the country by foreign investors. On Thursday, Statistics South Africa will publish the mining production indices and mineral sales based report for the month of July 2025. And lastly, on Friday, the week wraps up with a look at outstanding loan growth for the month of August in China, which will be released by the People Banks of China. Stay with us throughout the week as we unpack the numbers right here on Gabs FM Business News. I am Gilbert Manenye.
Remember that you're always up to date with Gabs FM News.
Gabs FM Business was brought to you by Muscom Isaka. Muscom, #1 because of you. Stay in the game with Gabs FM Sports Update, proudly sponsored by Betway. Yet way more, no persons under the age of 21. Bet responsibly.
All right, and more sports news this morning right here on BHD. We begin in the world of local football, where the Footballers Union of Botswana held its elective annual General Assembly over the weekend, ushering in a new leadership team to guide the union forward. Onaletata Tsekiso has retained the presidency, winning the position uncontested, and he will be supported by Lesego Molemogi as first vice president and Bonang Sata as the second vice president, with both positions also uncontested. In other results, Thapelo Radifalana was elected as the union's treasurer. There was also a big moment for former Zebras captain and Botswana football icon Joe Mokgorosi, who has officially been elected as the new players relations officer. Mokgorosi, well known for his leadership on and off the pitch, will now take on the vital responsibility of representing and strengthening the voice of players within the union. Football administrator Me Pinke Sekgakise is the new women's football representative, a move seen as a major step in strengthening the voice of women footballers within FUB's leadership structures. Meanwhile, Thabang Sisini secured victory in the vote for a male player representative, beating Arnold Mampori and Bophelo Kyaleboga. Khomozo Molefe takes up the role of women's player representative, while Benjamin Radimo has been elected as strategic relations officer and Munni States Sekgopolo as the new player development officer. The new leadership team now faces the task of driving the union forward, championing the welfare of players and strengthening the role of footballers within the broader game in Botswana. In tennis news, Carlos Alcaraz beat Jannik Sinner in 4 sets last night to win the US Open and reassert his dominance of an era-defining rivalry in a final delayed by the visit of President Donald Trump. The 22-year-old Alcaraz won 6-2, 3-6, 6-1, 6-4 to capture his second US Open crown and 6th Grand Slam title, avenging his lone defeat in a major final by Sinner at Wimbledon in July. Now, Alcaraz will reclaim the world #1 ranking from Sinner, returning to the top spot today for the first time since September 2023, after ending the Italian's 27-match winning run on hard-court Grand Slams. Alcaraz has now won 7 of the past 8 meetings and is 10-5 overall against Sinner. Alcaraz and Sinner have shared the last 8 Grand Slams on offer, winning 4 apiece to assert their superiority over the rest of the sport, including Novak Djokovic. Now, anticipation for the third straight Grand Slam final between the game's top 2 players assumed an even greater dimension with the presence of Trump. It was the latest in a series of visits to major sporting events for the U.S. leader after his trips to the new NFL Super Bowl in February and the FIFA Club World Cup final in July. He appeared before the of the Star Spangled Banner, waving to the crowd, which greeted him with a mix of cheers and boos. He was given a frostier reception later in the match, though, when he was shown again on the stadium's big screens. The start of the final was pushed back by 30 minutes to allow fans additional time to enter Arthur Ashe Stadium as a result of tighter security measures in effect due to his attendance. And finally, in motorsport news, Max Verstappen slowed McLaren's Formula One dominance yesterday afternoon with a phenomenal display of driving on his way to victory at the Italian Grand Prix, the fastest ever race in the sport's history. Starting from pole, reigning world champion Verstappen completed a magical weekend at Monza, which included the fastest lap ever in F1 in Saturday's qualifying by schooling McLaren pair Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri at Monza. Red Bull's Verstappen has little chance of securing a fifth straight driver's title as he still trails championship leader Piastri by 94 points, with the Australian finishing third. Piastri leads the driver standings by 31 points from Norris, who finished second and would have finished third behind his teammate due to an awful pit stop had McLaren not enforced a position swap between the pair. Charles Leclerc, last year's winner and the last driver to win at Monza from pole position back in 2019, couldn't take a podium spot for the massed ranks of Ferrari fans in the stands, the Monegasque finishing fourth. Leclerc's teammate Lewis Hamilton gave it his best shot after a 5-place grid penalty had him bumped back to 10th at the start, charging up to 6th thanks to some spectacular driving early in the race. But the 7-time F1 champion couldn't push past his former Mercedes teammate George Russell and was left with another underwhelming result in his first Monza GP with Ferrari. Look out for more sports news from 2:30 on Iconic and from 4 p.m. on the Late Lunch Show. Good morning.
Stay in the game with Gabs FM Sports Update, proudly sponsored by Betway. Yet way more, no persons under the age of 21. Bet responsibly.
Gabs FM is committed to reporting news that is accurate, broadcast comment that is fair, and adhere to the highest standards of journalism. If you think we're not living up to this code, you can forward your complaint to the program's manager at Private Bag, BO 319 Gaborone, or call us at 317-0905, or email info@gabsfm.co.bw, or to the Botswana Communications Regulatory Authority, BOCRA, at Private Bag 00495 Gaborone, or call 395-7755. The views and opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily of the station, its management, or its advertisers.
Bana ba ska ba rega ke bui sentle ke sena go ba botsa gore ame ba batla go thaba re ba ganetsang da ba ga go latle ka economics ba ga isang da ba ga go latle ka economics o ka abstract mathematics, because nana ke ba ra ga re monno o berekile di economy di tshwana tsa bo Japan tsa bo kae wana o mechanic a botla go mo ganetsa ka economics ga go ra re go ke so ke be di economics. Where do you get that knowledge when a mechanic?
Favorite breakfast show of choice. Right. Speaking from the point, having practiced myself as a journalist, journalism partially media houses on thinking that hira, especially the radio station, hira based on talent only. Motasana qualification, asana experience. I don't know how much effort you then later put on making sure that such people get further training in journalism and reporting. To sensationalize your lines of reporting, especially on print media. Meanwhile, none others, many other graduates, passionate graduates for but have a track record of doing the job. We are there because we are famous, because we have talent. You are overlooking other important qualities. It's to be reporting as journalists and reporters. The other thing that I have also noticed, even the journalists, even though the time when I started reporting back in 2016, unfortunately, it was cut short by whatever reasons. I can't really notepad And then had the updates at the I was shook, I was surprised. Even the most senior journalist, the hella from a very straightforward event, for instance, and I attended recently. Something else. Then while a very media house hello or really a senior reporter go a hapana the same hey golonchiwa tourism are city bus. Meanwhile, Vice President was launching city tourism and are golonchiwa city bus. And then you wonder how do a senior reporter or record a haleka phone. I can't dispute Kanya or technology is there to make our lives easier. But the most senior reporter, another issue, I don't know if you guys are going to be playing this hotel. Like Halibaga communications officers and PR practitioners, how easy is it going to be for senior citizens, for senior citizens here, for this citizen journalist to verify facts, those who are practicing? So this issue should be looked into. People should practice at least the license. Misa should look into this things because it's a sad thing to see.
Sad state of affairs. Bo qualification.
Hey, na kana le qualify.
Mo talenting.
Ha ke mo talenteng, ke na le qualify.
But we do have really good practitioners, right? By long they'll tell you they don't have an undergrad, you know, or
passionate.
In whatever that you do. Interview she is into supplies and supply mining. It became what did you study out of curiosity here? About you'd be amazed. I can't read English or something like that. And no, actually she did English at a later stage. But initially had an money and when I ko business ko company ngwe bila atlina wa bona avant ha re but you don't have to be a doctor to own a hospital. You don't have to be a doctor to own a hospital. You don't have to be a pilot to own an airline. Wa bona. And I think that was for me. I sat down and I thought about what she was saying. We like the point that I'm making is we do have journalists by practice and they're really good, and they don't just sit on passion. Okay, I'm passionate. They go back and learn more every day. They read on the ethics, the principles. How do I become a good journalist? So I think it really just depends on that. But yes, I hear what she's saying about media bodies also just making sure license, and I don't know how easy it's going to be though with social media also everything, because account ke na le di-follower students e be ke dira yone misinformation disinformation even wa bona ha ke itse ho gone ba go ira ka tsela ntseng
you can also hide your identity.
You can also hide your identity, but for mainstream media, I guess it's something that they can really just look into. Yeah. Somebody's calling us. Gibbs FM, you're live. Good morning. Hi. Right,
I think somebody had a foresight. The freedom of information. Can I will social media in a popular?
Yes.
But guess what? We see like na kwa one. Go channel about takes back and pick over Hana. Hati Yango Uba Yago Brun.
Young.
Why like receive get my point. What really to the extent they learn what now am I credible? I will ask you, we get tunnel in the Jogo State House, the IDIA, which we read about. We've been nowadays I don't even buy newspapers. Hagidi ba legar governor kantele ke di ribatali di home this guy ba radio ke bona ke ba botokanyana because they are competing with podcast ba re ba kwalang ke kotsi hela gape ga o do remember nako ya sa ga metsi le ko kanyikila go nna le ba dikganyedi tsa maya ke batho ba ba ntse ba go there's always find ways of misinforming is there ga gona ka loka re khanela wa ibile gape nako tse dingwe re hitisa dilo re sa di tlhaloganya ka di tshwantsho di nne ka te motho a be batho ba bangwe a ntse system a di twistega motho a ntla report ana buile ba marosi so now I'm just saying maybe re sile ke nako AI teng a batla di khangwa tsenyala bo botsa who is the president of Botswana in 1960 ha go bolelela ibile gore nana le bana ba le kae we don't longer need main media lo batla go ba batla go nna relevant but e batho ke sule ke nako
ke go tlasentle. Thank you so much. Somebody says journalists basala ba nkhola letting Sanisirite without any qualifications to lead them with false stories. First of all, your comment is false.
Sani has a qualification.
Qualifications,
ne?
Yes.
Masters in
media and communications.
Undergrad again.
Broadcasting and journalism.
Amazing. So that person is misinformed.
You are no. Disinformation. It's 8:51. It's time for us to love and leave you. It's been great as always, Diana. I read something quite interesting earlier. You draw when you sleep, and you said yes.
I
drew.
Yes.
But
yeah,
I
do.
You sleep with your mouth open.
Because guys, I have braces. And
what did you say you do? What did you say you do?
Opposite direction.
What do you mean opposite direction?
I don't know. I don't know how. Of course, we would need to go and verify. But I read somewhere.
Yeah.
What did you know? Or
Mm-hmm.
how drew lights because Bobo Kojo bo ka sengwe phadi musiki sengwe le sengwe and how bana motho a
Listen, little lady se ka se go.
ebile ha bona motho a dula se kwa mo a ke tsore ebile rona ka re hey it's how one so you shouldn't do that because o tla mo go batsa motho ba robetse boroko jo bo ko ting.
Do you drew?
I do. I've got big lips.
Power to engage your world is on 97.8 FM.
Well, the Fantastic Two, they're in the building and that's going to be taking you from 9 to 12 o'clock. What do you guys have for us on the show today?
Good morning. Today we're speaking to a gentleman from Botswana Newspapers Association. If I'm not mistaken, we're going to be touching on, the difference between, citizen journalism and real journalism. I think our main concern is to take a deep dive in terms of, dogmatic posts. Some people have strong followings on social media and then they put their opinions on facts. Yeah, it would be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, true that.
I graduated in
2023, he got his master's.
Who's this?
Sani Serita.
Oh,
And for the record, it was only 4 people that graduated out of close to 40 in that cohort 1 and cohort 2. So that's how sideways.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You see, this is what I was talking about earlier. The facts are there for you to believe, but when I go over what is wrong.
So he's very educated, my friend. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're back again tomorrow between 6 and 9 o'clock. My name is Khaune.
Diana.
Tapo.
Richmond and Latacy on Fleek present the Latacy on Heels 2025 edition, Saturday the 20th of September 2025 from 2 all the way till 2 a.m. at Rose Open Table, starring South African artist Loyiso, alongside local shades, and and Miss JK. The following 9 years, which is 1,600 will admits 2 people, and 3 admits 2 4,900 admits there. Peanut Mozambique Island worth 45,000 pula. The grocery Chelsea will pay 2,500 pula grocery voucher every week. Just or simply WhatsApp Chocoman Cruise to +267 7762 5313 to enter. Chocoman Peanut Partition ends on the 21st of November 2025. Draw date is on the 28th of November 2025. Change delivers staff across all industries, always on co.bw to explore services. Yes. To engage your world. live. This is Gibbs FM News.
Top stories in the meetings and the international health emergency remains. A very good morning to you. That's the news. Diana Mutsu. Challenge into today's digital landscape. The news that while social media enables quick sharing, it also makes it causing confusion, panic, and harm. Ethical standards. Nkoma also highlighted the need for media literacy and fair regulations that protect freedom of expression content.
Save lives a lot, but those same collapse, we know that is not true. That can only cause pain. And Mr. is saying the answer is not to silence those voices. Community reporting it, especially with the fight against misinformation. I think we need to recalibrate our voices and remembering that freedom of expression just about the impact of what we say.
Meanwhile, members of the public are supporting, despite the rapid growth of citizen journalism, the journalists, the first to break stories and provide raw and prompt accountability. Explained pointing to fact-checking, reporting, and strong oversight.
By research, information, social media. Then another one that was born about, I suppose, the way it is without following up or as a civil and sending it to the guy. Social media are traditional